United Sisters, how are you doing? I want to hear from you, really. How are you doing in this season after a week or two of being home? Some of you with your kids, some of you with your grandkids, some of you by yourself. I want to really hear from your hearts. Also, I know you expected our Bible study, our devotional Bible study, begin this past week, and I want to sincerely apologize, but tell you why it's beginning this week. I shared with you last week it's going to be a study on the P's of who God is, right? God's providence, God's plans, God's presence, His power, His purposes, His provision, right? And so this week we are going to launch in with the P of God's providence. What's kind of cool about this in His providence, I found out a paper I wrote this all up on in August of 2018 when Pastor Jeff had asked about, I felt led about sharing it through a sermon series at Christ United. So I had it all laid out. God is so good. So here it is. You can participate in the formation of it in the homework by answering these two questions. One, where have you experienced God's providence in your life? The second is, where in Scripture have you seen God's providence? Now, you may not know what that means. It's a big word and it's kind of weird, right? God's providence is He is in all things. God knows all things. God knows the beginning from the end. He knows the first and the last. This pandemic of the coronavirus does not surprise Him at all. He knows all things. He has purpose even in all things, even in the hard things and the things that bring us pain. God still has purpose in allowing them to happen. God has purpose in why they're happening as well that we may not ever knew. So here's the good news, is that God cares for us at all times. A lot of times we only see God's providence after we've walked through it and we have that reflection and we say, wow, I see God's providence of how He brought me here or why He made that decision or why I went down that path or why that even happened to me. That's why I encourage you always, or nag might be a better term, to keep a journal of your life, of what God's speaking to you in prayer and otherwise. There you really see God's providence and His fingerprints all over your life. You will want to invite all of your sisters to join you for this study. I'll be sharing the format with you in the very near days to come so you can sign up for a time where you're going to be able to join me and we're going to be able to interact with each other. Isn't that exciting, from our own homes? Our last season of Bible study, God sent us out of the building into meeting in groups. Now He's sending us over the internet. And here's the great news. You can participate wherever you live. You can live in North Carolina. You can live in Florida. You can live here in Myrtle Beach. You can live across the street from me. And we're still participating on the same level. So you're going to want to pay attention to your emails. Our Christ United Women's YouTube page, please subscribe. Our Christ United Women's Facebook page, please like and follow so you will always be up to date. If you do any of this homework questions on God's providence, please email me at jane@christislove.org. I want to hear from you, and who knows, you may show up in the lesson. Isn't that exciting? I love you, dear sisters. I miss you tremendously, but I really want to hear your heart, where you are, how you're doing, how is God meeting you in the midst of this, where you're struggling. I want to know your heart and how I can best pray for you and serve you as we journey together. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.